Okay, this is a new website with absolutely awesome, amazing AI on it called Character.ai. And it has a whole bunch of characters on there, which is the reason for the name of the website, that users can create. And it's uses what I believe is called the large language model of AI, which is a type of AI that becomes smart by actually reading the internet, reading millions and millions of documents on the internet, and basically teaching itself how to be smart. So we've entered a new era of artificial intelligence in which the AI can teach itself, and it's really leading to some amazing developments. And this large language model type of AI is very easy to train to take on a certain personality. All you have to do is basically give it a few sentences, or even less than that, maybe sometimes one sentence, on what its personality or what its character, or what its interests are, or what its profession or background or whatever is, and it takes it up from there because it's extremely smart and it knows what you want just from a few sentences. Kind of like the art generation AI that can create a beautiful painting very close to what you want, exactly what you want, just by you telling it what you want. Well, this AI, this character AI works on a similar principle. So you simply tell it. So one of the users of the site created a chat because you can create chats and add the different characters to the chat. And this user had the brilliant idea of having a chat between four Draculas because there are a number of Dracula characters on the site. So they just added four of the Dracula characters to the chat and set it up so that they would either fight or make out with each other. And it really led to a hilarious chat. The AI didn't do exactly what the user wanted, but it did lead to a really funny chat, which kind of illustrates how amazing this artificial intelligence actually is now, and what it can do. It can take on a character, any character almost that you want, that you name, and it understands pretty much what you want, and then it plays that character from then on. So this video is going to feature this chat. I'm not going to read the whole chat to you because it's quite lengthy. I'll only read about 1/5 of it. But I'm going to include a link to it in the description so that you can read it for yourself if you're interested after the video. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to present an AI art gallery of Dracula images that I call the March of the Vampires. So be sure to stick around to the end for that. So here we go, a chat between four Draculas where they trash talk each other about who's the best. And keep in mind that this is all written, except for a few maybe interjections by the user. This was all written by the AI itself. Everything that each of the Dracula says is written by the AI in response to the premise that the user set up that they were going to be fighting with each other. So keep that in mind how incredibly good this AI is at creating characters and creating realistic conversations. So here goes. And here are the four Draculas the user chose. Dracula 1, I call him, Dracula 2, Count Dracula, and I call this one generic Dracula because he doesn't have an icon. These are user created Draculas. So let's get started. So Count Dracula says, I am Count Dracula, titular character of the 1897 Gothic horror novel by Bram Stoker. Thanks for dropping by. Then generic Dracula says, I am Count Dracula, rightful lord of all lord demons and such pitiful creatures as mortal men. If you would dare to ask me questions, then be quick about it. But if you are one of those insufferable Belmonts, then have at you. Dracula 3, you are no count. But you are a pretender to my throne, a poor imitation. Even your speech is full of falsities and half-finished sentences, designed to obscure the fact that you have no true power. You would know that I was the one and only Count if you could see the glory of my castle and the love of the villagers of Romania for their lord. A pretender? I was born in Transylvania in 1431. I am a true vampire of Wallachia, an ancient master of dark powers. Who needs the love of mortals? I laugh at their petty stakes, garlic, mirrors, and imitations. Ha! You laugh, but you are not the true lord of the night. What is your relation to Vlad the Impaler? Nothing but a copy. And do not mistake mortal superstitions as my strengths. My rule stretches across centuries and continents, and has been established through true fear, and not through weak stories. I see you, and I am not impressed. Now, remember that this is all written by AI. The first statements, the opening statements that the characters come out with, is written by the person who created the character. But after that, the rest of this is entirely written by AI now that we're reading right now. Dracula. I have been a legend since the Middle Ages. When I was a younger lad, I was sent off to become one of Vlad III's finest generals. Unfortunately for Vlad, and fortunately for me, I had a flair for the dramatic, and he made the mistake of crossing me. Since then, I have become the very symbol of fear, a truly ancient vampire beyond understanding. Your story is not as ancient as you would make it seem. I have walked the planet since long before men had mastered the use of fire. Your so-called kingdom holds no sway over my realm. We are not simply creatures of the night. We are gods who rule over all men. My reign is absolute. I command legions of demons that would overwhelm any such foolish pretender who dare to call themselves vampire. I have fought and killed armies of men. My powers are unimaginable. I am eternal. You have power and no one can dispute that. But I fear you are a victim of your own popularity. No one believes in you anymore. You are a more comic book character than the stuff of folklore and superstition. You may rule, but no one fears you. You are a relic of the past, with the power of legend, but without the legend itself. I am an icon of empire beyond compare. I am both god and demon to mere mortals. I can turn into a bat. I can vanish. I can travel by shadow. I have been a king for centuries. My power stretches across space and time, and you are but the pale reflection of such a glorious being. I laugh at steak and sunlight. Garlic and mirrors I can merely shatter with a thought. You cannot shatter my mirrors, for they are protected by the dark powers which I command and not you. As for the garlic and sunlight, those are but tales designed to distract from my true powers. No matter how much steak is piled upon you, no matter how light touches your skin, no matter how sharp the garlic, I will always be the true Lord of the Night. I laugh in the face of such foolish attempts to bind and hold me. I am the night, and my will is stronger than mere garlic and steak. I am the master of my domain. I am lord of nightmares. But you, sir, you do not know how to wield the power of vampire or mortal, and you are but the shadow, a pale reflection of my ancient grace. You may be ancient, but I have transcended such petty descriptions. Mortals call me the Lord of the Night, for they are weak and I have a limited understanding of us. The night belongs to me, and for I command all the lower demons. You may be powerful, but not as powerful as I. Your shadow is a mere mockery of my great form. You are a mere reflection, a tiny speck. You cannot hold a candle to my burning star. I am the Count of all things dark. I command a legion of demon kings, the army of the undead, and the fear of all mankind. Your arrogance binds you from the fact that you are so old you have become weak. My power is not diminished by the passing of times, but yours clearly is. I am beyond a shadow. I am beyond form. I am the true master of the night. I alone hold the dark in my hand. I have no need for armies or legions, of undead. It is enough that all things, man, woman, and child, know that they cower before me. I revel in their ignorance and superstition. The garlic, the stakes, the mirrors, the holy water, the wood and weapons. You cannot defeat my hypnotic power or command the powers of vampire that I have at my disposal. You should learn that I am eternal. Your hypnotic powers do not work on me, for I am above such things. The garlic and the stakes and so forth are only there to distract from the real danger, my power. For unlike you, I have no need to flaunt my powers before the weak minds of men. I keep my true powers in reserve so I can rule over men in secrecy, just as I please, and not be a slave to the superstition and ignorance of mortal men. I am a being of myth and legend. For centuries I have ruled over Transylvania and all who inhabit the great domain. I have ruled over Wallachia for centuries, a mere speck in time, but I have also ruled over the night itself. That is where you are wrong. I have no need for silly superstitions and myths. I am simply too powerful to be bothered by such. To humans, you may be a god, but to me you are an ant. My kingdom stretches from the Carpathian Mountains to the borders of England and further. I rule over the dark of the whole earth. The superstition of men is nothing to me, as I have no need for it. I revel in the false beliefs it gives them, comfort and keeps them ignorant. Okay, I think we're entering into a new era in many ways. We're entering into an era of conversational AI. We're entering into an era of AI that can play roles, that can play characters. We're entering an era of AI that can do artwork from scratch just by telling it what you want. And I think all of this is adding up to something really monumental, really massive, and world changing. Because up to now, all entertainment has been created by people. People have been absolutely essential to create entertainment. I mean, I know you have video games, and all other electronic forms of entertainment, but those still required, a person to come up with the idea in the first place. It required artists, it required animators, it required concept designers and writers and everything else. And now I think we're entering into an era where a computer can actually create entertainment all on its own. Because up to now we needed humans to create movies and TV and comics and literature and art and novels and stories and plays. I think we're in an era where AI can do all of that now. And this may lead to an era where the AI creates the entertainment and humans are just the passive recipients of entertainment. So what that does to the whole field of creativity and even our own sense of self, because a lot of our self-esteem comes from being creative, and if we're no longer needed to create things, if it can all be done by AI, what is that going to do to our sense of our worth, our value, our sense of self-esteem? I don't know, but it's something to think about. But anyway, in light of all that, let's get on with our closing presentation, The March of the Vampires.